7 Storm Track weather with meteorologist Blaze Keller.
We're watching this evening as most of our rain continues to push off towards the north and northeast, really staying mainly north of La Crosse at this point. Viroqua, we're still seeing some showers kind of extending back into parts of Richland County as well as Sauk County. Looks like there may have been something trying to go there just outside of Portage, but if we can maybe squeeze some showers out in this area, parts of Lafayette, Iowa, Greene, maybe western parts of Dodge County, we might be able to get some water into the ground. But I would say this moisture, unless we get something to develop here, we're pretty much going to go into the start of next week on the dry side. This is one low pressure system. We got another off to our south, and between them, there's dry air. So that's the reason why we're not seeing kind of that line of showers extend its way from one system to the other. 66 in Viroqua, where that rain is beginning to wrap on up. 83 in Madison, down from almost 90. 86 in Janesville, 79 in Fond du Lac. Winds are out of the southeast, so still trying to keep us on the warmer side, trying to get some moisture in here. But just take a look at the difference from one side of the state with dew points nearing 70 to the other side where we are almost bone dry in Janesville. So as these showers continue to move eastward, they're quickly dying out because there's just no humidity. You can see that here too. Janesville, it's only 22% relative humidity, so it is just dry out there, and we really need at least 50s or 60s, 70s to get that moisture from the clouds to the ground. So I'm having a hard time believing that we may see showers move their way eastward. If we do, that would be great. I'm just not really seeing it in the cards for us, unfortunately. This shower is going to try to go. Hopefully it can spark up a few others. So we'll keep the rain threat for central parts of the state and maybe as far east as Janesville at about 20 to maybe 30% here over the next 2 hours. Let's give it 2 more hours. Even though Future Track wants to keep that rain threat through at least 10 o'clock, I don't think that's going to be the case. Let's fast forward to your Monday morning. Morning commute should be fine. Kind of the clouds are going to be wrapping on up here. Winds begin to shift out of the northeast, so that's going to cool us off just a little bit into the afternoon, just some afternoon relief. But we're not really going to be cooling down. That's just going to be a quick shift in the winds as we look ahead to Tuesday and even Wednesday. In terms of high temperatures, we are set to warm on up. Future Track is kind of picking up that most of that rain is going to stay off towards the west. And again, if you're lucky, a couple tenths of an inch to maybe half an inch. That half inch or so, the higher amounts are going to be dependent on if you get hit maybe 1, 2, 3 times or you're underneath a shower for longer. Otherwise, we can maybe expect a quarter of an inch. We'll add isolated chances for rain, though, as we head into next week, but it's going to be after the peak heating of the day, and we'll talk about that here in just a moment. But we are expecting a slight maybe chance of wetter than normal activity as we head into those final days of June. So let's keep our fingers crossed for that. It's not looking super impressive. I want to see more darker greens here to really reinforce that. But any uptick in at least chances for more precipitation than normal, we will take as the dry conditions continue on, and our drought most likely will continue to expand and worsen across the state. 60s and upper 50s tonight, mostly cloudy to partly cloudy, again with that rain chance ending earlier rather than later. There's a look at your 7-day forecast. The isolated rain chances start to begin Thursday and Friday, maybe as early as Wednesday. But we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 days, upper 80s to low 90s, maybe a little bit of a cool down there as we head into next weekend.
I know yesterday we were talking, even though it's going to be hot, it's not going to be super humid. Is that still the case?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're looking at dew points into the 60s, but with temperatures in the 80s and 90s, it's still not going to feel
oppressive.
Bad. Yeah.
All right, good to know, Blaze. Well, coming up next in sports, we've got you covered on one of the newest Badgers balancing act as a father.